Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lisner Auditorium. We would like to remind you that the taking of photographs and the use of recording or filming devices are strictly prohibited. We also request that you turn off all mobile devices. Thank you.
Good evening. How you doing? Are you ready to celebrate? Excellent. My name is Marta Gonzalez, and I am your master of ceremony for tonight's concert. You have just heard 2017 National Heritage Fellow Phil Wiggins, whom you will get to hear more from later this evening. It's an honor for me to be here tonight with so many incredible artists. I'm a musician myself. I'm the lead in the Intercollegiate Department of Chicano Latino Studies at Scripps Claremont College, and mother to 12-year-old Sandino. Both tough jobs. Over the past few years, I've been fortunate to work closely with the Alliance for California Traditional Arts, the State Folklife Program in California, as well as the Smithsonian Folklife Festival and Smithsonian Folkways. As I've had a chance this week to meet the artists and artisans you're going to meet tonight, what struck me is their incredible artistic work ethic, their commitment to their craft and their communities, their artisan beauty, both sonic and visual, and how it has enriched the social fabric of this country. Also, the diversity of this year's artists and their deep commitment to advancing their traditions by taking on mentees and students. Are you ready to get started? Yeah. And now, I'd like to introduce you to 2017 National Heritage Fellow Eva Ibarra of San Antonio, Texas, with her conjunto group, Siempre. Okay. Eva, you're amazing.
You think so?
Of course, you're amazing. Please tell us, where did you learn this musical tradition?
Well, my oldest brother, inspired me. He played the two-row accordion, and I played it too. I follow him because I love the sound of it.
Beautiful. And how are you passing this legacy along?
Well, I'm teaching, and I love to teach. I have a lot of passion, with all my heart. I like to teach my students, and I can see myself on them.
I know that you teach at Guadalupe, but you have also taught other places. Where have you been teaching?
Seattle, Washington,
Right.
and Palo Alto.
Palo Alto and Trinity or algo así,
Trinity,
¿verdad?
yeah.
Awesome.
I forget. You know.
No. No, you're doing awesome. So tell us about your band members. Who do you have with you
we're
here?
starting here with, well, on this side.
Eso. Sí, no. Who's here?
It's lead guitar, Rick Perez.
Woo!
On bass, Joe Dynamite Perez. Drums, Pete Lopez. And the one and only, the big girl from Florida, Sandy Rodriguez.
Qué bien. And that was, that last polka you played is called, ¿cómo se llama?
After her, Sandy, Jazz Polka. Sandy Jazz Polka.
Okay. So, will you show us a little bit about how this works?
Well, if you hold this, I can
Okay,
maybe
claro.
Okay, the traditional sound they play, and I can't play it, but I don't like it. so this is the traditional sound. So myself, say.
Eres rockera.
Oh, sí, le gusta el rock and roll.
Órale. Okay, so, well, we love your style, and we're so happy that you're here, and we want to hear more from you. Queremos otra.
Oh, well, this is one of my songs, and it's called Ven, Regrésame.
So,
For you.
dale, Chain.
Cuando estabas tú conmigo, todo brillaba para mí. Como quisiera estar contigo para llenarte de besitos, despecharte entre mis brazos y darte todo mi amor. No puedo soportar ya más tu ausencia, y sin ti no podré vivir jamás. Tú me haces falta, ¿qué voy a hacer? ¿Dónde estás, amorcito de mi vida? Ven, regresa a mí. Yo no sé dónde estará mi amorcito, mas no sé por qué me abandonó. Aunque no vuelva, lo he de esperar. En donde quiera que estés, mi amorcito, ven, regresa a mí.
next number. It's our final number. It's a piece written and originally by Eva, and she's dedicating it to the National Endowment of the Arts, and it's called that only, the National Endowment of the Arts Polka. She wrote it specifically for tonight to honor her fellow heritage recipients and to everyone that came out to join us tonight.
That was National Heritage Fellow Eva Ibarra y su conjunto siempre. Mr. Norik Atvazatturov is a repoussé metal artist who began to carve wood and stone at the age of 10, using traditional designs learned from his father. Raised in Baku, Azerbaijan by parents who had fled ethnic cleansing in nearby Armenia, Atvazatturov apprenticed to an elderly Armenian artisan in Baku named Goga. Now, let's meet Norik. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow. This is so exciting. I want to see what you're doing here. Please tell, how old is this tradition?
Yes, this tradition came from time when people already find out metal how to copper, have to go to steel and other stuff, and people want to make design because of everything they need for holy stuff or fight and other stuff what they do, they make design. And have to come on the piece of like this kind of sheet. And people do this tradition. Martha, can I go out of protocol a little bit?
Okay, yeah. Not too much, though.
I want to tell this is celebration. It's very important for me because my family become refugee and come to the United States 25 years ago. Already one anniversary. This year I have anniversary. 40 years I live with my beautiful wife.
Oh.
This year I will be 70 years old.
Wow, looking good.
Yes, this year I will be, how it's called, 45 years I do this artwork. I just yesterday find out, I starting count, and I find out. and this days is what I hear. From 13 till 16, very important day for me because this is 13 September was born my son, and 16 September was born my beautiful granddaughter. That's why you look, I have very good gift for this all events. This is out of protocol. Now I am agree. I ready.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. Can you show me how you do this work?
Okay. I first drawing some stuff on the paper, like that. After I put on the metal, this is just little piece. And I starting make copy from this paper, go to metal. If after when done, you can see this is paper over the whole liter and become like that, already copy on the metal. Oh, already copy on the metal. After I starting work, I take another tools and punch with different kind of tools. I can tell you only one stuff. Sculpture, you cut wood, cut stone, and everything what you don't need go out. And wood carving, you do same way too. But this technology, you just push from one side metal to another side metal. Yes, and you have to hit another. It takes a long time. I do this way. Yeah, I so nice do slides that I don't need glasses. And after when I did already come to close that, everything check up, that everything good. Now I have this is shell from this side to this side. This is all. This is all process. For this is repoussier. You need 2,000 tools. I just have about maybe 15 tools already. 45 years old. These old tools. And my hammer, you look, it was straight. 45 years it became. This is all what I have.
Beautiful. Well, you create beautiful work, and I see that there are some finished pieces over there. Can we go over there and show me some of those?
You just tell me.
Let me think. How about this piece right here first?
This is Bible cover. Not just our people, many people who believe God. Every Bible, they try to make nice cover Bible with piece of metal, somebody with gold, somebody with silver. This is from brass. I did and put over there gemstones. This is Armenian style cross. And here like wing, because cross like holy stuff have to fly and they always touch our heart.
Beautiful. What about this right here?
This one, it is, our people have lots of trouble time. We have to run, we have to trade, make any place we do go. But what we have to do, people starting make like reliquary, like icon. Over there they put holy stuff, something, and when go to traveling, they take with, people take with them. When come time for praying, they open these doors, they open doors and pray. This is, it is tradition now, not so much, but little bit I make different for my style, little bit small. Mostly have to be little bit bigger. But this is walk too. You can anytime take with you and pray when you need, talk with God.
Beautiful. And so what about this?
About this. This is Armenian alphabet. I can tell you that when starting, Armenian adopt Christianity 301. It is first nation, become state religion, 301 AD. When adopted, we did not have our alphabet. We pray, we have sermon on Greek. But people wanted use language and alphabet. And one man decide create Armenian alphabet. In history, nobody heard that. Special for Bible or for some books, people decide create alphabet. And he create alphabet, and till now, Armenian people use this alphabet. It's very important, I want to tell you, this alphabet, they starting translate all books what they have from different language to Armenian language. If, for example, in Alexandria, Egypt, when was born, this is a library. All books disappear. In all world, they starting to use Armenian's book because it was translated.
Beautiful. Wow.
This was history alphabet. That's why for us it is alphabet like holy. It's from language you can put on the book. Book probably more important in this life than everything because you can learn from book many, many stuff.
Norik, you're a treasure. This is so beautiful, right? It's gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And for showing us your beautiful work. Thank you, Norik.
Thank you. I'm done.
Ladies and, yes. Thank you, Norik. Ladies and gentlemen, Norik Atzbatsaturov.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the Deputy for Programs and Partnerships of the NEA, Mr. Tony Chavot.
On behalf of Jane Chu, Chairman of the National Endowment for the Arts, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2017 National Heritage Concert. Now in its 35th year, the National Heritage Fellowship Award is the highest honor the United States of America bestows upon its folk and traditional artists. The days leading up to tonight's concert have been action-packed for this year's honorees with embassy receptions and last evening's awards ceremony, reception, and dinner at the Library of Congress, as well as 3 days of rehearsals for tonight's concert. We value the collaboration of our partners in planning and executing these 2017 awards, namely the National Council on the Traditional Arts, the Library of Congress, as well as the library's American Folklife Center. To Julia Olin, Executive Director of the National Council for the Traditional Arts, and Madeline Ramez, the Council's Associate Director, who's coordinated all of this week's events, our sincere appreciation for their terrific work. And a very special thanks to Paul Douglas McNevich, the director of this evening's concert, as well as Martha Gonzalez, our dynamite mistress of ceremonies. Now, I would be remiss if I did not recognize the remarkable and dedicated group of individuals that comprise the staff at the National Endowment for the Arts, who work tirelessly to bring the best of our nation's art and culture to every corner of America. The NEA's Director of Folk and Traditional Arts is Cliff Murphy, and Cheryl Shealy serves as the Program Specialist for the NEA Heritage Fellows. And they, along with NEA's Aaron Whaler and Jenny Termaine, are especially deserving of our gratitude for bringing these awards and this evening to fruition. Over the past several weeks, Hurricanes Harvey and Irma have inflicted great damage to the property and displaced thousands of our citizens from their daily routine. Among those, one of tonight's honorees, Modesto Cepeda and his family from Puerto Rico. To all of those who found themselves in harm's way of these horrific storms, we send our thoughts and our prayers. And we're extremely grateful that Modesto and his family are safe and that they were able to make their way from Puerto Rico to be with us this evening. Now, tonight is our opportunity to celebrate the artistic legacy that makes our nation great and to experience firsthand with our eyes, our ears, and with our hearts some of the stellar creators and creations of America's artistic heritage. Thanks to each of you for joining us this evening as we collectively extend our gratitude and congratulations to the 2017 NEA National Heritage Fellows.
Thank you very much, Tony. And thanks to the NEA for all their support for the artists you were meeting tonight. National Heritage Fellow Cyril Pahinui of Waipahu, Hawaii, is unable to be with us tonight due to health reasons, but we are joined by his wife, Shell, and 2 of his apprentices. Cyril Pahinui has played a significant role in the resurgence of interest in Hawaiian traditional music, especially through his mastery and perpetuation of the slack key guitar style. Son of musical legend Gabby Pahinui, Cyril grew up playing and learning the styles of many of the most recognized masters of his father's generation in the intimate backyard jams at his family home in Waimalo, Hawaii. Slack key guitar is the tuning effect achieved by loosening the strings to accommodate Hawaiian harmonic and percussion structures and to accompany the rhythms of traditional Hawaiian dancing. Historically, families held their own styles of tuning secret and passed them on from generation to generation. A more open spirit prevails today, and in an effort to preserve the art form, many slack key guitarists now openly share their tuning styles and techniques. While we are sorry that Cyril is unable to be with us, it is fitting for his legacy as a mentor and teacher of slack key that we have 2 of his favorite apprentices with us tonight. Let's welcome Jeff Peterson and Shawn Robbins performing a song written by Cyril in tribute to his father called Lullaby for Pups. Thank you, Jeff and Shawn.
Mahalo.
Thank you. You know what I'm going to ask, right? How did Cyril teach this heritage to you?
Yeah, so in Hawaii we have an old tradition, and I think it's very similar to a lot of old time traditions, right? So this is in our culture. We have a saying that says "Ho'olohe kapepeo, na na kamaka, and pa'akawaha," and that basically means listen with your ears, watch with your eyes, and close your mouth. So Uncle will very lovingly sit in front of you and play something, and it's your responsibility to try and play it back. And after doing that for a while, you start to pick it up, and that's the exact same way I'm sure he learned from his dad, Pups Pahinui, who many of us know as basically the founder of modern Hawaiian music as we know it. And so I had the privilege to learn from that same style from Uncle Cyril. And yeah, so ho'ole kapepeo, na na kamaka, and pa'akawaha.
Beautiful. That sounds like a good life lesson, you know?
Absolutely.
So not just to. Tell me a bit more about the tuning.
Yeah, so the first song that we played is in one of Cyril's signature open D tunings. And what kiho alu, or slack key guitar, is a tradition that started way back in the 1830s in Hawaii when the guitar was first brought into the islands. Starting on the Big Island, an area called Waimea, with the vaqueros. They started this cowboy tradition. My father was a Hawaiian cowboy on the island of Maui. We're called Paniolo, the Hawaiian cowboys. And the Hawaiians, we took the guitar and experimented with changing the tuning, loosing the tuning key, or slack key. And so I just tuned to another one of Cyril's signature tunings, and this he learned from his kupuna coming before him, the elders, and Ata Isaac had a big influence on him. And so this is an open C tuning, so if I play the guitar strings open, it's quite low. The bass string is tuned very low. This string actually is raised in pitch. The second string is raised in pitch. You play all the notes together, and you get this glorious, lush chord. And Cyril did many beautiful innovations with this tuning. It's part of his heart and soul, and his music comes through this tuning. And there are many variations on the tuning, just changing a string. His father would tune down the second string down to a lower pitch, and it would give it a sort of different resonance. Each tuning sort of has its own feel to it.
Right, beautiful. That's beautiful. Can we hear another song?
Yes. So we're going to do a medley of two songs, and if you've seen this beautiful photo of Uncle Cyril, it's at Hi'ilave, the waterfall on the Big Island, and it is his father's signature song and one of the very first ever recorded by Gabby Pahinui, and it's in this beautiful Waipio Valley on the island of Hawaii. And so we're going to do a song called Aloha Kamanini, and then we're going to go into the song Hi'ilave.
Beautiful. Let's hear it for them.
Let's hear it, Jeff.
na ya hilawe kapapalo himaya o maukele Love it. Yeah, Malo.
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Jeff Peterson and Shawn Robbins, in tribute to National Heritage Fellow Cyril Pahinui. Beautiful. And now, we'd like to welcome this year's Best Lomax Haas Award recipient, Dwight Lamb of Anowa, Iowa. This special designation annually goes annually to a fellow who has been particularly dedicated to education or stewardship of living traditions. It's named in honor of the late folklorist Bess Lomax Haas, who was a longtime director of folk and traditional arts at the NEA. Bess helped build a national network of state folk life programs and helped get the National Heritage Fellowship started in 1982. Dwight is widely celebrated for his mastery of two traditions, both rooted along the Missouri Valley, along the Iowa-Nebraska border where Dwight lives. That's Missouri old-time fiddling and Danish button accordion. He's widely credited with reinvigorating a lost tradition back in Denmark. And we'll hear more about that. Let's welcome Dwight Lamb. Dwight Lamb, everybody. Mr. Lamb, this first piece was called Jake's Best Reel. Tell me about it. Where did it come from? How'd you learn it?
Well, it came from an old radio fiddler, Uncle Bob Walters, that played over the radio for years, and I listened to him ever since I was a kid and got acquainted with him and worked with him until he passed away several years ago.
Wow, beautiful. So I know you're known for your mentoring as well, and you have a whole lot of mentees here. Who's with you here?
Well, we have Bill Peterson from Canton, South Dakota. He's a student of mine and a very fine fiddle player, and he's also my manager. He told me I needed a manager, and I said, well, you're it then. And next is Nate Kimberman. He's been working with me since 1996, and he's a fine fiddle player. He's learned a lot of pieces from me, and we're really proud of him too, and glad to have him with the group. And then next is Amber Gaddy. She and David next there, and Nate were going to college in Grinnell, Iowa, and I was playing at the Iowa Sesquicentennial in Des Moines in 1996, and they approached me and wanted to come and work with me, and they've been working with me ever since, and they're very fine students and very good musicians. Last but not least is David over there. He plays guitar. He's our rhythm man, and he sets the beat for us so we don't get mixed up. And he's fine player and also a fine guitar maker.
Wonderful. Yeah.
They're the next generation, and I'm very proud of all of them.
Oh, that's wonderful. You're all lucky to have Dwight, right? You're also known for your accordion playing, and particularly how it revived a tradition back in Denmark. Can you tell us a little about that?
Well, I made several CDs for Round Records, and on each one I put a few Danish accordion pieces, and the folklorists from Denmark heard those, and they were curious, and they contacted me, and I'd learned all these pieces from my grandfather when I was just a kid, and I loved the old tunes, and I found out, he told me that his father was a good fiddle player and played a lot of festivals and things in Denmark, but I didn't realize that he was as famous as he was, and after they found out his name and that I was connected with him, they realized that I was the third generation there, fiddle player, and they contacted me, and I've been teaching the tunes over in Denmark. So many of them had gotten lost over the years, and we've had 41 tunes in a book now that we put out that my two Danish friends had written down the music and some words with them, and they're being played all over Denmark now, and I've been over there 4 times. We've been having concerts all over Denmark, and the people really enjoy hearing them again.
Wonderful. Wow. How about that? So you're about to play a tune for us called 3-Part Polka, right?
Yes. That's one of my grandfather's tunes. We don't know the name of it. It's a 3-part polka, so we're going to play it.
Let's hit it. Thank you.
you.
Please put your hands together once more for Mr. Dwight Lamb.
Thank you.
What a treasure. Wow. Ella Jenkins is not only a National Heritage Fellow, but is known far and wide as the First Lady of Children's Music. Right? Born in St. Louis, Missouri in 1924, Miss Jenkins was 32 years old in 1956 when she made her television debut in Chicago as a singer of children's folk songs. The next year, 1957, she made her recording debut at Folkways Records and has become Smithsonian Folkways' longest tenured recording artist. Miss Jenkins is credited with blazing a professional trail almost single-handedly, creating a genre and an occupation of children's music. Though her health prevents her from being with us tonight, I know. Let's meet Ella now.
I'm not a formal musician, so I don't tell them formal music, but just how to make sounds and some lyrical things that I can do. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. I love the minor key. It's like people pouring out their hearts. Going to build me a little castle in the mountains so high so I can hear the cuckoo as she goes flying by.
I can't imagine that there's anyone that has done more for introducing young audiences to music than Ella Jenkins. She brings it right into the schools, brings it right into community centers, and right into the homes with her numerous recordings that she's done over the years. It's not just about her being a performer or a songstress, but that she genuinely cares about sharing with anyone she comes in contact with.
For me, receiving the Heritage Fellowship from the National Endowment for the Arts means that I've achieved something and that I'm going to relate to not only one or two or three, but quite a number of people. Did you ever do this? 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potatoes, 6 potatoes, up to the sky. Children can play on the drum easily. I used to come over just beating on a tom-tom. I said, you can make rhythms and sounds. And then next thing you know, they're growing up a little bit and they're taking music lessons. And pretty soon they will be playing very well, yeah. So it's the kind of togetherness, let everybody have a turn working together. Did you feed my cow?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell me how?
Yes, ma'am.
Ella Jenkins' gift of music really speaks to her ability to kind of get at this very basic common denominator in us all.
Shake hands with friends. Oh, your hands are nice and hot, warm. It's time to go. Shake hands with friends. It's time to go. And I hope I'll see you another day. Okay.
And now, to pay tribute to Miss Jenkins is a Grammy Award-winning musician. You may have seen him on Sesame Street and just about every other television network. Mr. Dan Zanes. He's accompanied by Haitian-American jazz vocalist and music therapist Claudia Eliaza. Thank you so much for being here. This is so exciting.
Thank you.
So, how did Ella inspire your work?
Well, I'd just like to say before we even answer that question, if we seem nervous or excited, it's because there's no one who's done more for young people in American musical history than Ella Jenkins, and it's such an honor to be here.
Yeah, that's true. Amen.
So, having said that, I took my daughter, when my daughter was 3 years old, I took her to see Ella Jenkins at the Bank Street Theater in New York City. And I was just starting my family music explorations. And, so there's a woman on the stage with nothing but a baritone ukulele, not even 6 strings, just 4. And over the course of the next hour, she had every single person in that room either up on stage, singing along, using their hands. There was movement, there was dance, there was everything. There was everything. There was no wall between her and the audience. We were all in it together in a way I'd never seen before and I've never seen since. And that was Ella Jenkins' essence.
Beautiful. So you said your daughter was 3. How old is she now?
22.
Wow. That's kind of a long time ago.
I've seen a lot of concerts since then.
So how are you continuing her legacy in your own work?
Well, you know, as we celebrate Ella's spirit of inclusivity, it really encourages musicians like ourselves to dig deeper, you know, to find more meaning in our music and find ways to make it more inclusive for all people. As far as Dan and I are concerned, we are very, very passionate about the growing sensory-friendly movement. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with that term, sensory-friendly performances are really a way of opening the door, breaking down barriers, and creating accessibility to all people because everyone deserves music. Everyone should have access to quality music.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And, you know, Dan and I are truly humbled and honored because recently we were commissioned by the Kennedy Center to create a sensory-friendly folk opera, which will be premiering at the Kennedy Center next month, October 6th through the 8th. But that is, again, just a very small example of how Ella's legacy continues to inspire musicians like ourselves. She has touched so many lives, and we're just truly humbled and honored to be here to celebrate her tonight.
Oh, beautiful. Can we hear some of Ella's music?
Yes, and the spirit of participation invites all of you to sing along with us.
All right.
Here's a song called Guide Me that Ella learned from the Freedom Riders. Guide my hands while I run this race. Guide my hands while I run this race. Guide my hands while I run this race, 'cause I don't want to run this race in vain. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race, 'cause I don't want to run this race in vain. All together. Guide my heart while I run this race. Guide my heart while I run this race. Guide my heart while I run this race, 'cause I don't want to run this race in vain.
Guide my mind while I run this race. Guide my mind while I run this race. Oh, guide my mind while I run this race, 'cause I don't want to run this race in vain.
Guide my heart while I run this race.
While I run this race.
Guide my heart while I run this race. Guide my heart while I run this race, 'cause I don't want to run this race in vain. All together, here we go. Guide my hands while I run this race.
Oh, guide my hands while I run this race. Guide my hands while I run this race.
'Cause I don't want to run this race in vain. 'cause I don't want to run this race in vain.
No, I don't want to run this race in vain. All right. So this next tune we're going to do for you is Ella's You Sing a Song and I'll Sing a Song. You familiar with that? Yes, we're going to sing that together. And this is actually one of the best sellers of the history of Folkway Records. So we encourage you to sing along with us on this tune.
And we did find out from Ella's longtime manager, Bernadelle, that Ella is watching the live stream of tonight's event. So let's all say hello, Ella.
Hello, Ella! We love you.
We love you. Thank you. Congratulations. All right, now that you know that Ella's watching and listening, let's all raise our voices.
You sing a song and I'll sing a song and we'll sing a song together. You sing a song and I'll sing a song in warm or wintry weather.
You sing a song and I'll sing a song. We'll sing a song together. You sing a song and I'll sing a song in warm or wintry weather.
You
play a tune and I'll play a tune, and we'll play a tune together. You play a tune and I'll play a tune in warm or wintry weather. You hum a line and I'll hum a line, and we'll hum a line together. You hum a line and I'll hum a line in warm or wintry weather. All together. You sing a song and I'll sing a song, and we'll sing a song together. You sing a song and I'll sing a song in warm or wintry weather.
Thank you. Dan and Claudia in tribute to Miss Ella Jenkins. Hi, Ella. Miss Jenkins, I love you too. Modesto Cepeda was born in 1938 in San Juan, Puerto Rico, into a family that has for generations produced artists of bomba and plena, the two most significant folkloric dance, drumming, and musical traditions of Puerto Rican cultural heritage. Bomba derives from the playing of barrel drums on Saturday nights, Sundays, and holidays by enslaved Africans on the plantations of coastal areas of Puerto Rico in the early Spanish colonial period of the 17th century. Plena is a bit newer. It developed during the 20th century and is a song tradition sometimes called the sung newspaper, as it helped deliver the news around the neighborhoods of San Juan. Tonight's performance includes a couple of generations of Cepedas, which is fitting considering that Modesto's father, Don Rafael, received the National Heritage Fellowship in 1983. Now, let's welcome Modesto Cepeda and his grupo, Cimiento.
Si Alfredo se va, tumba pare, si Alfredo llega, tumba pare, si Alfredo se va, Alfredo llega, cuando regresó a Caracoles, la gente pregunta y no hay quien le hable, ¿dónde se ha metido? En los aleares. Alfredo se va, tumba pare, si Alfredo llega, Alfredito se va, Alfredito que llega, cuando regresó, mira, trajo caracoles, la gente pregunta y no hay quien le hable, ¿dónde se ha metido? En los aleares. Alfredo se va, tumba pare, si Alfredo llega, Alfredito se va, Alfredito que llega, cuando regresó, mira, trajo caracoles, la gente pregunta y no hay quien le hable, ¿dónde se ha metido? En los aleares. Si Alfredo se va, tumba pare, si Alfredo llega, Alfredito se va, Alfredito que llega, cuando regresó, mira, trajo caracoles, la gente pregunta y no hay quien le hable, ¿dónde se ha metido? En los aleares. Alfredo se va, tumba pare, si Alfredo llega, Alfredito se va, Alfredito que llega, cuando regresó, mira, trajo caracoles, la gente pregunta y no hay quien le hable, ¿dónde se ha metido? En los aleares. Alfredo se va, tumba pare, si Alfredo llega, Alfredito se va, Alfredito que llega, cuando regresó, trajo caracoles, la gente pregunta y no hay quien le hable, tumba pare, bomba, boricua.
¡Increíble! ¡Increíble! Maestro, felicidades.
Gracias, un placer para mí. Felicidades a todos ustedes.
A ver, dígame un poco de esta tradición. ¿Cómo fue que usted aprendió? How is it that you learned this tradition, maestro?
Esta tradición la aprendí con mis padres, don Rafael Cepeda, doña Caridad, precisamente en nuestra casa, todos los niños, 12 hijos, imagínense. O sea que tantos muchachos, pues toda esa tradición de mi papá, de mi familia, nos unimos y formamos el grupo Cimiento, donde participan ya mis hijas, mis nietos, ¿verdad? Mi familia, claro, y la familia extendida, como llaman por ahí.
So I learned, beautiful. So I learned from my family in the home, through my father. It was always a part of our tradition. We were 12 children, so can you imagine how we formed the entire group solitos, all by ourselves? ¿Verdad?
That's right.
Entonces, ¿cuánto tiempo tiene practicando la bomba y la plena?
Bueno, es prácticamente toda una vida, más de 55 años básicamente, pero esto no es, esto es una tradición ya, que una vivencia que nos pone orgullosos ante el pueblo y el mundo en general. Que vivan la familia de todo Puerto Rico.
Beautiful. How long, I asked, absolutely, I asked, how long have you been doing this tradition? And he said 54 years, but it's really a part of the fabric of our lives, of our culture and our family, and he blesses you all. Eso, maestro. A ver, ¿cómo es que está usted enseñándole a la siguiente generación esta tradición? How are you showing the next generation this tradition?
Nosotros creamos precisamente, muy importante, la primera escuela de bomba y plena que se crea en Puerto Rico para enseñar precisamente a los niños. Desde la misma idea que me pasó a mí con mi padre. Por eso los niños, los adultos, los jóvenes y los adultos, y hoy en día practican y gozan de esta música tan tradicional y maravillosa que es la bomba puertorriqueña.
Ah. So he said that the way he's passing it on is by forming the first school of bomba en plena in Puerto Rico. It is called Cimiento. And to be able to facilitate and teach the children the tradition, young people or adults, whoever wants to show up, and so that he can keep on with the bomba de Puerto Rico. Eso. Maestro, who is on stage with you here tonight? No sé, dijo un poquito, pero ¿quién está aquí con usted? Who is on stage with you here?
Bueno, aquí tenemos la compañía Cimiento Puertorriqueño, o sea, Cimiento de Puerto Rico, donde participan mis hijos,
his children are here,
mis nietos,
his kids, his grandkids,
mis estudiantes,
his students here and in the audience,
y la familia extendida que están por ahí todos. Que son,
and the extended family who's somewhere around there, he said. Maestro, qué bendición es usted. ¿Podemos escuchar otra?
Vamos a ver si pasamos. Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará? ¿Y a dónde estará ella? Get the hand, the hand.
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
Felicita, mi amiga, ¿y a dónde estará?
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
La llevo y no la encuentro, ¿y a dónde estará?
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
Felicita, mi amiga ideal.
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
La busco y no la encuentro, ¿y a dónde estará?
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
Felicita, mi amiga, ¿dónde estará?
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
La busco y no la encuentro, ¿y a dónde estará?
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
¿Y a dónde está mi amiga? ¿Y a dónde estará?
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
La llevo y no la encuentro, ¿y a dónde estará?
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
¿A dónde está mi amiga ideal?
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
La bomba está prendida, ¿y a dónde estará?
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
¿A dónde estará ella? ¿Y a dónde estará?
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará? Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará? ¡Habla! Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
El maestro con sus dos hijas.
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
Modesto Cepeda and his two daughters.
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará? Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
Habla, Gladys, habla.
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará? Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
¿Cómo?
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará? Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará? Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará? Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
¿Cómo?
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
Habla, Brendita, habla.
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará? Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará? ¡Habla! Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
¡Habla!
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará? 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 Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
El nieto, Exxon, el primo.
Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará? Felicita, ¿y a dónde estará?
Habla, Cepeda, habla.
Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará? Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará?
¿Cómo?
Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará? ¡Habla! ¡Saboma!
¡Ah!
Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará?
¡Ataca, Cepeda, ataca!
Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará?
¡Habla, Ethan, habla!
Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará? Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará?
¡Habla, Cepeda, habla!
Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará? ¡Habla! Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará?
¿Cómo?
Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará? Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará?
¡Habla, Ethan, habla!
Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará? Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará? Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará? Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará?
78 años.
Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará?
Todavía queda.
¡Habla! Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará? Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará? Felicidad, ¿a dónde estará?
¡Bomba de Puerto Rico!
En la hacienda Caridad se baila bomba. En la hacienda Caridad se baila bomba, de verdad. En la hacienda Caridad se baila bomba. En la hacienda Caridad se baila bomba, de verdad. Se baila bomba, se baila bomba tradicional.
En la hacienda Caridad se baila bomba. En la hacienda Caridad se baila bomba, de verdad.
Todo el mundo está gozando. Everybody up, everybody up. Get your hands.
En la hacienda
Get up, everybody get up. Get up from your
En
seat.
la hacienda
Get up from your
se baila
seat.
bomba, de verdad.
Se baila bomba, se baila bomba, se baila bomba, se baila bomba tradicional.
En la hacienda Caridad se baila bomba. En la hacienda Caridad se baila bomba, de verdad.
Vengan todos los boricuas. Hey.
¡Bomba! ¡De
¡Puerto Rico!
Irma no nos paró.
For
Estamos
the whole
aquí.
world.
Let's have one more round of applause for Modesto Cepeda and his amazing group of musicians and dancers, Cimiento de Puerto Rico. Maestro, quiero dinero. Yo también. Oh, well, I would have come out here and rocked it. No, I don't know what I'm doing. That was amazing, right? Yeah. Central Tennessee buck dancer Thomas Maupin. Yes, dances with a passion and energy that has been with him all his life. A retired factory worker, Mr. Maupin was born in 1938 on a farm in Rutherford County, Tennessee, where social dances were a regular occurrence within the community. Maupin grew up surrounded by vibrant musical traditions, and he began dancing to string band music and square dances at a young age, as did all his 9 siblings. Buck dancing is a style of percussive dance rooted in the Upper Mountain South that draws from rural British Isle and African American dance forms. It's a distant cousin to tap dance. Maupin's parents were dancers, as was his grandmother and great-grandmother. His extended family was scattered throughout the region, and it was with them that he would trade steps, developing a style that became entirely his own. The style of dance Maupin grew up with is termed traditional buck dance or flatfoot dance, a southern form which evolved out of a syncretism of Scottish Irish step dance and syncopated African juba or hand-bone dance. A solo, improvisational, percussive dance form, buck dance is characterized by a still upper body with most of the movement taking place below the knees. Maupin has always viewed buck dance as a personal interpretation of the music one hears, and he continues to encourage young dancers to find their own steps and rhythms. Let's welcome Thomas Maupin. Mr. Maupin, you are amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did you learn this tradition?
Well, I grew up in a large family of dancers. Nine of us. Well, 10 of us counting me. So, 5 boys and 5 girls. And my grandmother lived with us. And that was my mom's mom. She was an old lady, probably about my age now. But she could dance, and most of the time, summertime, barefooted. A tune would come on the radio, and I can remember her dancing with a straight-up style, and definitely right on top of the music. With her heels, I could hear her right now. And she had the best little move in her, you know. So that carries me back. All of us that danced in my family one time or the other. We didn't dance alike. We had our own steps. So people ask me all the time, where did buck dancing come from? So where did buck dancing come from? Where did music come from? There's different ways, different kind. You can play music with sticks. Mm-hmm. So I think it comes from inside of you, how you hear the music and how you react to it. But timing is the most important part. So I've been doing it ever since a little skin-legged boy in a little country town where everybody knows everybody. And now I'm an old man, still got skinny legs, and still a dancer. So,
and everybody knows who you are.
well,
Now.
I hope so. But I'd like to introduce the band over here.
Yeah.
It's,
please, yeah.
yes, over here on the bass is Austin Derberry. On the fiddle is Casey Mickles from California.
Yeah.
From California, he came and he stayed. My son-in-law on the guitar. Is Danny Rothwell. And one of my favorite pickers is my grandson. Playing the banjo, Daniel Rothwell.
So you're known as to be a very generous mentor. You mentor all of these wonderful musicians, but also in your dancing, right?
Yes. And I got another grandson in the audience
Oh.
that I'm very proud of. He don't play music and he don't dance. But he is a good football player. and Courtney. This little woman right here, I have been doing they call it a master class, and so I've been doing a master class for her for a while, from the state of Tennessee, and I think she's really done well, and I want to introduce you to her, Miss Courtney Williams.
Yeah.
And thank you, and I am proud to be here. Thank you.
I'm going to show up to your house just like Casey. I want to learn some of this. Beautiful. Can we hear one more number?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
They're going to play Sugar in the Gourd.
All right. Let's hear it for Mr. Thomas Maupin. Let's have one more round of applause. Mr. Thomas Maupin. Oh, wait, Mr. Wow, that was amazing, right? At this point in the program, I'd like to thank a few of the folks who have made this National Endowment for the Arts Heritage Fellowship concert possible. First of all, a very big thanks to our hosts, Lisner Auditorium at George Washington University. Also, tonight's programming could not have been possible without the production of the National Council for the Traditional Arts, and especially the management skills of Madeline Remes and Executive Director Julia Olin. Our director for tonight's concert is Paul Douglas McNevich, and we hope we've made him proud. Cheryl Sheely is a folk arts specialist at NEA who coordinates the heritage activities. And Cliff Murphy is the director of the Folk and Traditional Arts Program. Give it up for Cliff. Thank you also to the stellar backstage crew. And finally, let's acknowledge the work of our sign language interpreter, Miyako Villanueva. Thanks to all. Anna Brown Ehlers is a Tlingit weaver known for her Chilkat robes. She joins us all the way from Juneau, Alaska. Please welcome Miss Anna Brown Ehlers, who is joined by her daughter Marie and her friend Jackie. Thank you for being here and congratulations.
I'm glad to be here.
How did you learn this tradition?
Well, first of all, it started out when I saw a Chilkat blanket, the graceful movements of the fringe when I was 4 years old. And right at 4 years old, I decided I wanted to make these as for my life, but I didn't tell anybody for 20 years.
How old is this tradition?
Several hundred years old. It started out all across the Northwest and in Alaska as just cedar bark, plaited cedar bark, you know, simple, very simple weave to keep the rain off. And at some point, the cedar bark got smaller and thinner, and then at some point, yarn was added, and at another point, the design was added.
Beautiful.
And the designs are the clan affiliations. It tells where you are from, and it tells your affiliation with the land, but not your ownership of the land. It's your relationship to the land.
I love that. Excellent. How long did it take you to learn this tradition?
I apprenticed a year in the beginning, and it was pretty tough because Jenny Clenott was quite a stern teacher. She was 90 years old, and she would pinch my arm and like kick me under the table. And she'd say everything in Tlingit, just like our parents did. And I'd go around the house, I'd add some wood to the fire, and I'd get her some coffee, and she'd say, "Heen," and what do you mean? She said, "Water." So she just spoke Indian to me, and my dad would translate the tapes when I got back to Juneau.
Wow.
So I figured it out pretty fast.
but you've been doing it ever since, right? You keep
35 years.
Beautiful. Wow. So tell us about what you're wearing.
What I have on is called the Chilkat Apron, and in the center face with the hands is the humanoid, and it's the woodworm humanoid as a protectorate of the woodworm people. And the bag is matching. This is the woodworm also.
Beautiful.
But the aprons we put on smoked moose hide, and we add deer hooves at the bottom.
Beautiful.
Takes a while to age those out, dry them out. And our people used to use puffins in the old days, but puffins are protected by the federal government now. So we found an alternative.
Well, tell us about the hanging piece on the card.
Okay, I'm ready. This piece is a killer whale, which is commissioned by my mother for my dad. And it has 8 yellow humanoid faces, which represented his 8 children. And then when I was all done, my mom said, well, what about Nathan? Which is our older brother. He showed up later on in the program. So we got a sockeye ivory piece with abalone made out of woolly mammoth, which could be up to 50,000 years old.
Beautiful, beautiful. And what is Marie wearing? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Marie's wearing the killer whale apron, tunic, also which my mom wanted to show him. Also, my mom ordered that for my dad, I think. She's kind of bossy. And even though it took 4 months to spin the wool and about 9 months for me to weave it, after that, after we lost Dad, Mom wanted a killer whale bag to go with the tunic, and it's beaded on the back.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Because Mom's kind of the belle of the ball, usually.
And I love that your daughter wears it now, or you could wear it. It's not gender specific, right? It's more about family lineage. Is that right?
Yes, it's all about clan representation, and the clans are the eagle and the raven in our tribe, and you marry the opposite clan. If you're a raven, you marry an eagle, and it was a way of preventing intermarriage.
Excellent. So we have a video showing some of this process, right? Can we look at that now?
Okay. We also use yellow cedar bark, which we collect in the springtime. And so we cure that in water. After it's cured and most of the sap is out, we use a knife and we cut it vertically and then split it with our hands till it's paper thin. And after it's paper thin, then we strip it like linguine, and we can use that basically forever. Once it's all prepared, when we want to use it, we reconstitute it in water and split it by hand on our thigh to make the warp, which is the inner core fiber of the Chilkat blanket. Once that is all done, which can be several months later, I take the warp and hang it on a simple crossbeam loom and then start finger twining. Once you start, you have to follow through to the end, because it's not for you, it's for everybody else. The Chilkat symbolism is describe who you are and what tribe you are from, what clan you are from, and your affiliation with a certain region in the state of Alaska.
Beautiful. Who were the people in this video?
Oh, the people in the video were Jacqueline Pata, my brother Nathan Jackson, who is also an NEA Fellowship, and both of our clans, and each of our clans is always in balance. The songs are a way of respecting the people on the other side, and when they sing and dance for us, it's the same show of respect and thanks.
Beautiful. You have a song for us.
First of all, I want to say that my dear friend and my childhood friend, my neighbor, taught me how to weave. And so in part of this thank you and to honor her tonight, I'm going to sing a song that is a very powerful song, Cha'adeye Unatiga. It's a song that was composed by Auntie Yeshi, comes from my village, and it is a song to honor Anna here tonight. It means Cha'adeye Unatiga Aklik Kuhas Ani Akade Hatsagak Du'a Iyeki Kagagi Dagayayak. And what it translates to mean is to say, on our grandfather's land, let's not forget, let our voices be heard. Our aunties, be sure of your feelings and pray for your raven. Gook. Yo hey, yo hey, yo hey, ya gook. Hey ya, hey yo, hey ya gook. Hey ya, hey yo, hey ya hoo. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya ha, hey ya, hey ya, hi ya, yow honey hi ya, cha adeye unatiga chawe achit has anio hey ya akade hatsagak duak chahu hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya ha hey ya hey ya hi ya yow honey hi ya dak egas shayanas ai tu at has anio hey ya iesli katsagi dagak chahu hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya ha hey ya hey ya hi ya yow honey hi ya yow hey yo wee.
Thank you, Anna Brown Ehlers.
Thank you.
Now, tonight, we visited with fellows from the farthest corners of the USA, from Hawaii, Alaska, and Puerto Rico. To close our show, we move much, much closer to home. Phil Wiggins was born and raised in Washington, D.C., and first started playing harmonica as a kid at neighborhood house parties here in the district. Today, he makes his home in nearby Tacoma Park, Maryland. Let's welcome Phil Wiggins and with his group, the Chesapeake Sheiks. Mr. Phil Wiggins. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was
Thank
amazing.
you.
What did you just play right now? What is
All
that?
right, what we just played is called Anacostia Two-Step. It's a Thank you very much. I understand it's not really a two-step, but we don't care.
Where did you learn this tradition?
Oh, well, you know, I'm mostly associated with what is called the Piedmont style, I guess because of my long time association with my partner, John Cephas. But, thinking back, you know, I've been trying to make music on the harmonica ever since I was a kid and had the toys and all. I remember falling in love with the sound of the deep blues, hanging outside my grandmother's church in Titusville, Alabama, listening to the women singing prayers and praises at the prayer meetings. As I was growing up, my older brother was a great guitar player, so all the best musicians in my neighborhood were always hanging around my house to play with my brother, and I would kind of ease in on the side of the jam sessions. But I feel like I was really lucky that I had all these live musicians to jam with as I was learning. And then, of course, being in D.C., the John Jackson, Archie Edwards, John Cephas, you know, all these great Piedmont guitar pickers made their home, and I got to play with all of them.
Beautiful.
So, thank you. Thank you.
So we're very lucky to have heard you give us a little taste at the beginning. What was that tune? What?
That tune was called Guitar Rag. It's a tune that John and I sort of came up with. The cool thing about that tune, when I came back from playing it and went backstage, Thomas Maupin's banjo player paid me probably the highest compliment that I can imagine when she said, "Was that you playing on harmonica?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "You could play for a dance by yourself." That made my day.
Wow, there might be a collaboration in the future, huh?
I hope so, yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Who are you playing with here?
I have the great fortune to be sharing the stage with Ian Walters on the piano, Marcus Moore on the violin and the fiddle, Steve Wolf on the bass, Matt Kelly on the guitar, and my great friend on percussion, Bakari Wilder. All right.
Wow. So tell us about your playing style.
Oh, okay. My playing style, like I say, I was fortunate to have a lot of musicians to jam with live, and so I was able to steal from more than just harmonica players. I stole a lot from piano players. Like a lot of the stuff I do, like is kind of right here. That's kind of right-hand piano. So anyway, but basically the style I play is blues crossharp, which the main technique is bending notes, which in order to bend the notes, you have to draw in. And so I'll show you what I mean. So rather than blowing out into the harmonica, I'm drawing in through it, and as I'm drawing in, I change the shape of my face, and it causes the pitch to go down. Sounds like a... And that's what allows me to get those blues phrases out of the harmonica.
Wow.
Thank you. All right.
Mr. Wiggins, I'm all sad now. You got to pep me up with another tune.
We have a cure for that, yes.
All right, can we hear another one?
Yes, indeed.
Mr. Phil Wiggins.
All right, so we're going to do one right now that I made up. It's called No Fools, No Fun, and it's what happens when that second cousin troublemaker shows up at your party. And every family has one, and if you're thinking that your family doesn't, then it's you. having a Saturday afternoon barbecue in my backyard. We were boozing and bluesing and pitching horseshoes. Some of them were playing cards. Well, I was just about to double check to see my barbecued ribs were done, when I heard a little voice in the back of my head, and it said, no fools, no fun. No fools, no fun. Well, my ribs were just about done, when I heard a little voice in the back of my head, and it said, no fools, no fun. Well, Curtis had lost at horseshoes, and he was losing in a game of bid whist. So he started up with the dozens, and he ended up swinging his fist. When my Uncle Wilson pulled his pistol, you should have seen that joker run. Everybody cheered, and when the smoke cleared, somebody shouted, no fools, no fun. No fools, no fun. You should have seen that joker run. Everybody cheered, and when the smoke cleared, somebody shouted, no fools, no fun. Themselves a race. They wanted to find out which one of them could drink up all the whiskey in the place. Well, Joseph fell on his backside. Don't you know that John fell on his face? And that old hypocrite Deacon Dunn got mad and declared it was a damn disgrace. But he's nothing but an angry old hypocrite, that son of a Deacon Dunn. Well, somebody needs to pull his coat and tell him, hey man, no fools, no fun. No fools, no fun. That old hypocrite Deacon Dunn. Well, somebody needs to snatch him in his collar and say, hey, no fools, no fun. Only couple of folk got ugly. Only one of them lost some blood. Yolanda threw her knee out, trying to dance the jitterbug. Oh, Pete lifted seat of his britches out there, buck dancing in the sun, and singing some crazy made-up song that he called No Fools, No Fun. No fools, no fun. He was buck dancing in the sun and singing some crazy made-up song that he called No Fools, No Fun. No fools, no fun. Well, I guess there was no harm done. Everybody snatch somebody's wig and holler, no fools, no fun. No fools, no fun.
Let's have one more round of applause for Phil Wiggins and the Chesapeake Sheiks.
you. Thank you. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome back to our stage our 2017 National Heritage Fellows. Come on! Norik Atzvatsaturov, Modesto Cepeda, Brown Ehlers, Miss Ella Jenkins, Mr. Dwight Lamb, yeah. Mr. Thomas Maupin, Mr. Cyril Pahinui, and let's say Mr. Phil Wiggins, Miss Eva Ibarra, how about another big round of applause for these wonderful artists? '17 National Heritage Fellows. Let them hear it. And on behalf of the NEA and all the National Heritage Fellows, tonight's performers and crews, thank you very much and good night. Thank you. Felicidad. Beautiful.
Until next year.